What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Triple Z Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Henry. The Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler saga continues with the Heat suspending Jimmy Butler for 7 games for conduct detrimental to the team just one day after Jimmy Butler indicated to the Heat organization that he would like to be traded. If you look at the situation between the Heat organization and Jimmy Butler, the relationship is over. You hear Jimmy Butler talk about losing his joy for basketball while being in Miami. You hear him talk about this after games, after practices. He doesn't feel wanted in Miami, and what led Jimmy Butler to think this is the Heat not extending him coming into this season, right? Jimmy Butler has a $52 million player option for the 2025-26 season, and he will be an unrestricted free agent after that, but Miami didn't feel the need to extend Jimmy Butler. If we look at Jimmy Butler's 6-year tenure with the Miami Heat, he's accomplished so much while being in a Heat jersey, right? He's been a 2-time All-Star. He's led the Miami Heat to 2 different finals appearances back in 2020 in the bubble, and most recently 2023 against the Denver Nuggets. He's been to 3 Eastern Conference Finals with the Miami Heat. He's been an Eastern Conference Finals MVP, going against the Boston Celtics. He's first in the franchise in triple doubles. He's first in 40-point playoff games as well. He's done an amazing job while he's been in Miami. And when we take a look at the 2023 playoff run that he had, that is literally one of the most historic, iconic, individual playoff runs we've ever seen. To be an 8th seed and push the Miami Heat with that roster past the Milwaukee Bucks, past the New York Knicks, past the Boston Celtics, who were the favorite at that time. That individual run will never be forgotten, not only in Heat history, but in NBA history. That's how historic Jimmy Butler was during the 2023 postseason, right? Pat Riley and the Heat, they don't want to commit to somebody who's getting into his late 30s, who has issues with availability, especially missing the 2024 postseason, the entirety of that postseason run. They don't want to pay somebody for who they used to be, right? And Pat Riley has no problem letting go of players of a high status. He's let Dwayne Wade walk in free agency. He's traded Shaq. There's been issues with Alonzo Mourning wanting money and all these other players that's played for the Miami Heat or who's been, in the Heat culture. And the disconnect between Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler really started when Jimmy was injured during the 2024 postseason. And there was a viral video of him saying that if he was healthy, if he was on the court, Boston would be home and the New York Knicks would be home. Pat Riley saw, Jimmy Butler's viral clip, and he basically said, if you're not on the court, you should keep your mouth shut. I'm leaning towards Pat Riley because you saying that, Jimmy Butler, doesn't help the situation at all. Like, yeah, all right, cool if you're on the court, but if. We're going off of ifs. Like, that's what we're doing. Like, you're not on the court right now. We're getting our asses handed to us by the Boston Celtics, who ended up winning the 2024 NBA championship. And, for the past 2 months, all you're hearing is Jimmy Butler involved in all these trade rumors. He's dyeing his hair to colors of certain teams, right? The Mavericks, the Suns, the Rockets, the Golden State Warriors, right? And it's becoming a serious distraction to the Miami Heat. So Pat Riley came out and said, hey, this is becoming an issue where it's becoming a distraction to our team. We are not going to trade Jimmy Butler. Even though there's so many evidence of Jimmy not wanting to be with the Miami Heat. And this past Friday, the Heat came out and said they're suspending Jimmy Butler for 7 games for conduct detrimental to the team. And how I take that is, the comments Jimmy Butler is saying after games and after practice, talking about how he is losing his joy playing for Miami, how the relationship can never be quite fixed, right? How he's happy off the court but not on the court. His passive performances as of late, his last 2 games. I mean, Jimmy Butler's scored 6 points in both of those games, right? Eric Spoelstra, benched him in the 4th quarter because, Jimmy's not giving off that, vibe that he wants to be on the court. Like, there was a possession where he was in the corner and he shot a 3 off of one leg. Like, you're not LaMelo. Like, that's not your game, Jimmy Butler. Like it's moments like that where you think, oh, he's not engaged with what we're trying to do here in Miami. The reports say that Jimmy's, on pace to lose, $2.3 million or $3 million, somewhere in that area. I mean, he's making $52 million this year, or next year. He's chilling, right? This whole Jimmy Butler and Heat saga, right, with him and Pat Riley going back and forth and just, the comments that they're both making, it's just, I feel like it's taken away from the Heat season overall. Because right now they're in the 6th seed. They're in the playoff run. They're doing pretty damn well. Bam Adebayo's starting to come along as well. And I feel like this confrontation between Jimmy and Pat Riley is really overshadowing the breakout season of Tyler Hero, who I believe will be an all-star this year. He's averaging like 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's shooting a great percentage from 3 on high volume. Like, Tyler Hero is absolutely balling, and he should be an all-star, in San Francisco. Like, just a couple of weeks ago when Pat Riley released that statement, it said that they're not trading Jimmy Butler, but here you are, last Friday saying that you're open to listening to offers. I feel like Jimmy Butler has made it that more uncomfortable in Miami. Spiraling down these trade scenarios. Like, he's not, like, he said he will play anywhere, which I feel gives him the upper hand in this situation. Like, he is willing to go anywhere. It's just up to Miami to make sure, the money matches and, they're getting some type of leverage back for Jimmy Butler. The Mavericks trade, I don't think that's going to happen right now. I know that's not going to happen. Like, that, the Mavericks will have to gut their entire team, basically, or gut, a good area of their team in order for the money to match, right? The Suns, I mean, the Heat will be fools to pick up, Bradley Beal's $52 million or however much he's making, $50+ million, and, have him on their roster. Like, he's not helping you at all, right? Like, Bradley Beal's not that kind of player where you can put him on a team and he's, leading you to the playoffs, right? Who else? The Rockets, yeah, they can negotiate, but Jimmy Butler is not a player you need right now, right? I like where the Rockets are. I feel like they can make it to the playoffs, and who knows, maybe they get to the first round, second round, but then you learn from there, right? You don't need Jimmy Butler to be on that squad and kind of change the, trajectory of that team, right? I don't want a 35-year-old, leading the way for a young Rockets team, right? I just don't see that meshing well in Houston. What are the moves? Golden State, Miami said they wanted Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins. Golden State declined that. They said, no, we're not doing that. So Golden State's out of the scenario. I don't know where Jimmy Butler's going to end up. This has been like the most consistent drama in the NBA, Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. It doesn't look good on both sides because with the Heat, like, Paul Pierce talked about like this Heat culture and Pat Riley, really just pushing stars away. Like, you ran Dwayne Wade out of town, Shaq, LeBron, Alonzo Mourning, Gary Payton, all these other players. But then when you look at, Jimmy's side of it, this is not his first rodeo with like exiting a team with some type of like headline, right? Like, remember the time with, Minnesota where he had that iconic, game in practice where he took the third stringers and, went against the starters and he beat them. Like, it was getting really confrontational in Minnesota. So it's not Jimmy Butler's first time, making an exit. So both sides are just adding on to that, narrative that, they're just stuck in their own ways sometimes. That's my whole mindset of the Jimmy Butler and, Miami Heat saga. Thank you guys for listening to the Triple Z podcast. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comment section how you think this is going to end between Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Where do you think he'll get traded to? Would it be the Suns, supposedly? I don't know. The Rockets, Washington Wizards, the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know where Jimmy is going to land, but it is an intriguing story to watch and keep up with. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Zzz.